You don't need to concede defeat. I know you're defeated. Give me something more tangible. The Hindustan army is sweeping west. Good grief, it's lagging. I love what he considers a peace treaty. Yeah, I'll annul my treaties with Swahili at that. So we're down to the final 5.5 years of the game now. See, Persians are a pushover when they don't have the Ottomans as an ally. And when I'm not also fighting the Portuguese, the French, the Russians, and Aragonese, and the rest of the world, essentially. I don't think I was fighting the Qing dynasty at the time. I wasn't fighting Mali either at the time. Let's see, annul treaties. No. You call that a peace deal? Yeah, right. So we're going to spend the last 5 years of the game trying to roll up the entire Persian Empire. And if time permits, we'll go up and roll up the Nogai as well. Since I've got nothing else to do, I won't be able to declare any more wars. If I manage to actually occupy all of Persia, I wonder if I could annex all of Persia in one big gobble. I'll save all my diplomatic power between now and then. What could I get right now if I tried? I couldn't get anything off of Persia. I could just get the Delhi lands, all but the capital. That's no good. And where's the rebels? I already have that rebel group under control. Hostile sages. Okay, what's over there? And they're being handled. Oh, back to my regularly scheduled stomping of Persia here. I don't remember if it's 20 or 21. I think it's January of 21, so technically we have just over 6 years. 6 years and a couple months. Can I separate peace Persia? I could. How much could I get off of Persia here? Let's see how much of Persia we can chew off here. Let's start with the territories that I used to own already. Those two for sure. Upper Sind was one. Okay, that all gives me Kalat as one, so that's all 0 overextension. That's good. Now, let's go for Sirhind. Bangladesh. Kurlo. Nope, I couldn't get that, so I could take just those from Persia. Nope. Not interested at this point. We'll continue racking up war score for a bit. I can get more than that manually, so no. Wallachia declared war on Aragon. Okay. Good luck with that, Wallachia. Back to plan one. I'm just going to try to gobble up all of Persia here, or occupy it. You don't need to concede defeat. You're already beat. You don't need to tell me that. Now, if you wanted to concede all your lands, that would be another story. What kind of army do they have left? I know no guy still has something. 50,000, 60,000. Since I had a 5,000 stack defeat a 35,000 stack, I'm certainly not worried about them. I just wonder if they're going to actually try to come back down here again. I wonder if I have enough time to occupy all of Persia and then move through the Timurids and occupy a chunk of Nogai before the end of game. No, I don't trust you. That's a big no. Going to spam peace offers between now and the end of the game. No guy will concede defeat. Nope. Getting closer to actually offering something, I guess. Bosnia, I don't know why you need military access, but sure. Let's go ahead and detach another. Oops. Never mind. We found their army. And we're going to squash their army. Select army. Come on, select army. I guess I didn't need to move there. I'm squashing them without the reinforcements. And gain stability. Free stability gain. Yay. Lost a royal marriage. Some more sieges nearing completion. And they're going to go right back into a royal marriage. That's fine. Look at that. 3,000 men stood off 25,000 men from Persia there. No guys in a Regency Council now. And they're going to have to retreat. And we roll up some more territory from Delhi, or from Persia. Persia's running out of spots to retreat to. Oh, and our last idea group is available. Lose 5 mercantilism, lose production efficiency, gain trade income. Sure. Yeah, look at all these requests. Okay, I don't need it. We'll go there instead. Wasn't sure I was going to actually win that one, but okay. Almost marched to their capital here. This is something I've been wanting to do all game. Holy Roman Empire accepted peace with Bavaria. Bavaria ceded one territory. We're about ready to have a port on the Caspian. Where are you going? Why are you going? Why did you leave that? Go back there. France declared war on Haiti. Okay, we're going to finish these sieges and do a little bit of consolidation of the troops again. The war is not won. First time I've seen that pop up. lost an admiral. We can get an admiral. Okay, I'm going to try something here. And they are merely negotiating for themselves. Okay, so I can get all of Delhi, except for his capital. Costs most of my diplomatic power to do that, really. Yeah, gives us time to build up some more diplomatic power. More sieges nearing completion. We have just enough time to completely occupy Persia before the end of the game, I think. I'm not going to have enough diplomatic power to, thanks to the death of I think I just lost the fleet. Really? Sent no guy packing again. Two more sieges nearing completion. 2.5 years left of game time. Is that one of their fleets running? Unfortunately, I only have 84 points. So I'll go through the Timurids and start taking out the no guy next. Oh, they won't give me access. Ugh. Really? Well, that's unfortunate. And we'll finish up our sieges anyway. That is what's left of the once kind of mighty Persian Empire. Teach them to get into a coalition with the Ottomans against me. I'm going to finish the sieges and then we'll see what little we can get out of all of this. So it is essentially the end of the game. I have a regency, so I couldn't declare war on anybody else if I tried. Thanks to back-to-back deaths of my monarchs over the, well, since we started this session 20 years ago. I had 2 monarchs die in the space of 2 years. The last one left me a newborn heir. Two sieges almost done. 2 to go after that. Less than 2 years to complete them. We did end up in 9th place. Looks like about a 1.3 per month income. We're still 800 points behind Aragon. Last I checked. Tech-wise, admin is the only one that didn't make the 31 point. Which, as far as I know, 31 is still... Oh, nope, they did get to 32 finally. So did the Empire. finish these two sieges up, mop up any rebels. Got 126 points. Diplomatic points, we might pick up another 10, which certainly won't give us much of anything, but I want to take Fars, I think, if I can, as part of the peace deal, just so I can get that close to the Holy Roman Empire penalty turn gone away, and have a much better chance of getting the alliance that I've been after for a while. Technically, I could probably get it right now, but I'm at war. Once I lose that at war penalty, I think I could get it. I want a little bit of insurance, which means I need to move my border slightly closer to the Empire. Okay. $190. I only have 156, so I'm going to have to lose some of. And we got a coalition against us. Gee. Oops. Cost 50 diplomatic power. Okay, I need to wait till I get some diplomatic power built up. Of course, the side effect of all these people entering the coalition against us is nobody in the coalition can actually declare war on me anytime between now and the end of the game. Oh, there's only 4 transports here. That's what the problem is. We did it. 1 year from the end of the war, we have our alliance with the Holy Roman Empire. So, what will go down, I'll call as a successful playthrough this time as Hindustan. Starting with the tiny three or four province nation of Vijayanagar, turned into an empire spanning 5 continents, 4 continents: Asia, Africa, North America, nothing in Europe, nothing in South America, Australia. So 4 continents, yeah. A little bit of bad luck at the end with the monarchs and the multiple great powers declaring war on me at the same time for different reasons. I said the Portuguese kicked it off, and they were allied with the Holy Roman Empire and Aragon. Midway through that war, France war decked me, and of course they brought Russia to the party. I managed to peace out with France after losing just 1 province in the Indonesians. And I was still at war with Portugal when Persia war decked me, and as part of the coalition, Ottomans joined. So in the space of these last 25 or so odd years of the playthrough, I've faced every great power except for England. And actually did not succeed. I'll call the war with France a success, even though I lost 1 province. The war with Portugal was a failure. Obviously, I lost territory to Portugal in that war on the mainland at that, my cores. So certainly don't consider that a success. And the war with the Ottomans, we ended up losing territories to Nepal, Jaunpur, and Punjab, as well as Persian territories. Now, I did manage to retake most of those lands, although not quite all of them. And then, of course, the knife in the back was losing 2 monarchs there at the end as well in rapid succession, leaving me with a newborn heir, which meant for the last 10-15 years no more war decks. And with no more war decks, I could not retake the rest of the land that I had planned on. Now, things did end on a positive note. We're 4th in monthly score gain, which meant over time we could overtake some of these. Portugal, probably not. Russia, probably not. Aragon, yeah, given enough time we could. They're the next on the list. But they're still 900 points ahead of me. 900 points ahead of me, 800 to 900 points ahead of me. And I'm only gaining half a point a month on him, so that would take a long time. Sweden is the other one that is a bit far out, but nothing behind me could overtake me either. So we end up in 9th place. And like I said, from a tiny 3 or 4 province, non-westernized nation, I'll call that a success. Probably the most successful playthrough I've had now. My other 2 have been Portugal and Naples. Portugal being on release day, and early mistakes in that playthrough killed that game. Naples, we did pretty well given our situation, but we never were able to form Italy, so I did not call that a successful playthrough either. So of the 3 long-term playthroughs, this is the first that I'm going to call a success. We did well in forming Hindustan in the first place with all of the nations there. Then our colonization went well, claiming Africa, Madagascar, Indian Ocean, Indonesia, Australia, and ultimately the western United States and Mexico. all the way up to Alaska. And that is how the game is going to end. I'm just going to speed it up because there's really nothing to... I don't remember if it ends in January of 20 or January of 21, but we may be... Regency Council reduced inflation. Yay. I'd rather the Regency Council grow a pair and allow me to declare war on somebody. But that's not going to happen. Evidently it goes to 1821, so we just speed up. There's really no actions that are going to affect the rest of this game. So that is Hindustan. One moderately successful. Now, in the last century, other than that debacle where we had multiple great powers facing off, at one point we were up against over 1.5 million men army with the France-Russia alliance going on simultaneously with the Empire Portugal-Aragon alliance in two separate wars against me. In the 5 or 6 decades before that, we managed to fight Great Britain to a standstill once and Portugal to a standstill twice. And actually, we were making gains on Portugal. We were getting ready to actually land troops in Portugal proper. In that war, we had turned things around and had the chance to actually gain positive war score and gain some territory at that. Something happened... I don't remember what it was, but it forced me to white peace Portugal so I could turn my attention to whatever else was going on at that time. And I forget what it was. Oh, Bangladesh is under siege. Oops. Got a couple sieges going on. You guys aren't doing your jobs here. But in the end there, we like I said, we got most of the territory we lost to the Ottomans. There's still one territory in Nepal and two in Jaunpur that we did not reclaim. We did reclaim our lost Delhi lands and then some in that last war. Actually, technically, I didn't reclaim these two because I took the option to claim Fars instead, which gave me the ability to ally with the Roman Empire. Which is something I'd been trying to do for a while, and just because... Oops. Put you guys on rebel duty here. Even though it didn't really affect anything by the end of the game, I went ahead and... How many transports are here? I have no transports here. You mean my entire transport fleet is 4 ships? That's not right. Where's my train? Oh, that's right. I lost a batch of transports. Damn it. Oh well. Not a big deal with 5 months left in the game. We're just going to port them. So, Hindustan has proven to be a success. Said it could have been a much greater success had we not had that multinational multi-war declared against me about 25 years, between 25 and 30 years from the end. One nation against 1.6 million men just was not ever feasible to fight, and they were both different wars. They weren't overextension or anything. One was a colonial war. That was the French war that brought Russia into the fray. The Portugal War was a crusade, actually. And that brought the Holy Roman Empire and Aragon into the fray. So from that point was the what I'll call the downfall, even though, like I said, this is a successful save. That point, with 20, 25, 30 years left in the game, prevented me from actually going through, and as you just saw in that last war, we actually completely occupied Persia in that last war, completely occupied Delhi. And had the Timurids allowed us access through them, we would have actually started occupying Nogai, which was the third partner of that particular war. If I'd been able to do that 30 years ago, we would have had a good chunk of this territory sewn up. But, like I said, 2 wars against 5 great powers simultaneously killed any further expansion we could make there at the very end of the game. So we've got less than a month left of the game. Like I said, I'm happy with how it turned out. Like I said, we will call it a successful save. We ended in 9th place in score overall. Historically, that would have been 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would have been 9th place in the historical charts as well. Venice being at 28. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. We have 2100. No, okay, 10th place in the historical charts. So not bad for a country that started in it as a 3 or maybe 4 province. Non-westernized. You notice everybody up here, except for the Ottomans, it looks like we're high-tech powers. Russia. I don't know what Russia starts as far as their tech. I know it depends on which country forms Russia, I suppose. We teched out 31, 31, 29 admin always slagged. I never really had a decent administrative leader that actually survived more than half a dozen years. Go back through history, there's really not much. So take a look at that last one was Regency Council. Before that, my leader lasted 9 years and left me with a newborn heir. The leader before that only lasted, I think, 13 years, was it? 13 years. So in the last 25 years, I had a Regency Council and 2 monarchs that did not last. And this one was a decent one, a 433. And because he was inaugurated only 25 years from the end of the game, I thought sure he would last to the end of the game. And not only did he not last, but his successor didn't last either. But let's see, this is the one, yeah, the Persian Hindustan punitive war is the one that brought the Ottomans in. The Portuguese Crusade started there, and that brought Aragon and the Holy Roman Empire in. And the France-Russia all happened from 1789 onward. 580,000 men. Now that was just individual battles, so like I said, during this time between the French and the Portuguese War, we had 1.6 million men up against us, and most of our mainland was occupied. I managed to peace out with France, only losing Flores, and shortly after, Persia declared war, and that brought the Ottomans in, which was another who knows. I didn't really take a look at what I was up against at that point, but throughout that war, most of the mainland proper was occupied. I managed to peace out finally, losing 4 territories to Portugal and 7 or 8 to Persia. And then I subsequently took most of those territories back. So we had the 9th largest army, and we had lost a chunk of it there at that last war that I never bothered reconstituting. 6th largest navy, 4th most provinces in the world, 4th highest income, 4th highest trade income, 5th highest province income. So overall, a successful war. or a successful campaign. I mean, again, starting as like I said, we were a 3 or 4 province nation here, starting with Vijayanagar. I think we had Rayasala, Carnation, whatever that is, Kongu. I think we had to take the western coast. We had to take everything up north through wars and vassalization. But we managed, and Hindustan ended up. We can't look at the rest, can we? Is there a way to back out of this so we can? Nope. We ended up with California and Mexico, all the way through to the Caribbean, Alaska, Australia. We can't see the map mode. Can we change map modes? We cannot. We had the Horn of Africa down to Mombasa here. We had a good chunk of the Indonesian islands and islands all the way across the Pacific Wake, Hawaii, all the way to the Americas. So, all in all, like I said, my first, I will call fully successful campaign. 9th place score overall. So I hope everybody enjoyed this playthrough. As usual, I'll get this last up on YouTube tonight, probably. I will be starting another playthrough. I'm going to be monitoring the MEIOU and Texas mod. Once that's fully stabilized, I might go ahead and pull run out of that. And sometime, probably after the holidays now, given the time of year, probably after the holidays, we may look at doing a multiplayer. I know you, Synaptic, were interested. 3 or 4 of you were interested. Yeah, the game just ended, Leaf. I will have it up on YouTube. As I was saying, I'll call it a successful run. We had that war with France, Russia, Portugal, Ottomans, Roman Empire. We ended up piecing out on those. I think you were here last night when we pieced out with Portugal, losing 4 territories, which we never reclaimed. At the beginning of the session, or shortly after the beginning of the session, we pieced out with Persia, losing territories to Nepal, Jaunpur, and Persia proper. After that, the coalition against us disbanded, and as soon as I was able, I went back to war with Persia, reclaimed most of those territories in Delhi, Jaunpur, reclaimed most of those, as well as a couple in the Persian territory. We were slightly hamstrung in the last 25 years. We lost 2 monarchs, and the last monarch left us with the newborn heir 10 years from the end of the game, which meant we could not go on any more wars to reclaim any more territory. But we did end up in the last war with Persia, rolling up the entire Persian nation, and as well as Delhi. And had the Timurids allowed us access through their territory, we would have started rolling up the Nogai nation as well. They were the 3 people we were in the war against. But like I said, it was a successful campaign. Again, I'll call it my first fully successful run through of this game, although the Naples was close. Portugal wasn't too bad, but it certainly did. Neither of those first 2 succeeded in any of my dreams. As far as completion, like I said, Naples, we never were able to form Italy, and that, since that had been my primary goal, I did not consider it a successful game, despite ending up in 10th or 11th or something like that in the scoring charts. We ended up overtaking Spain in this game to end up in 9th place overall, 10th place in the historical campaign. And it might have been more had we not, like I said, lost those 2 monarchs and been in a regency council for the last 10 years. But like I said, it was successful. The next playthrough will probably be with the MEIOU and taxes. It's probably going to be a couple weeks out before I consider starting that. And for those that are interested, probably after the holiday season, I had a lot of people interested in a multiplayer, so probably after the holiday season we'll start a multiplayer save that runs maybe twice a month. Sundays seem to be a good day, so maybe twice a month on Sundays we might run that up. But once again, I hope everybody enjoyed it. I will get this up on YouTube. It'll probably be broken down into 3 chunks. I think it's run over 4 hours now, so I will have it up on YouTube. No mods. Iron Man mode, normal. I can show you the setup. This is exactly how we started here, actually. This was our start nation, so I guess it was a little bit more than 4. 7 territories, maybe. Vijayanagar. And like I said, it was no bonuses, normal difficulty, historical lucky, which you have to do as an Iron Man. So that was the basic setup. I might, well, depending on what nation I go, I might up the difficulty on the next playthrough. I don't know. It was a randomly generated nation. What I had done is I had randomly generated 10 nations over the various start times. I had some start times for everything except for the very latest starts. I think 1718 was the last possible start that I had. So 10 random nations over these 6 or 7 time frames. And then I had 3 advisors out of my Twitch followers. Synaptic and Devil were 2 of those at the time. And they each picked a random number 1 to 10 to randomly select one of those 10 nations. And then those that were in my Twitch channel at the time voted on those final 3 choices. Vijayanagar was one of the possible finalists. Dai Viet was one of the finalists. And East Friesland, I think. Where is it? Up here. East Frisia was the 3rd finalist. And the channel, who I had in my channel at the time, it wasn't a lot, but they chose Vijayanagar. And that's where we started. Iron Man safe to prevent me from going back and oops, I made a mistake, or oops, that didn't go my way. So let's restart. I like the Iron Man for that reason. And the entire series is up on YouTube. I said if you've got 70 or 80 hours to burn, I think is after yesterday and today's session, it probably weighs in at between 70 and 80 hours. And like I said, tonight's session I'll get up here before I go to bed tonight. Next nation, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and reload here, and we'll take a look. And now I do not have necessarily the most up-to-date version of MEIOU and taxes, but let me load that up. And we'll take a look at the map for that. Said I don't know what I'm going to start. I half tempted to go with my Naples save again just because I was unsuccessful in farming Italy in my last playthrough. So I'm half tempted to go that route again, but I might have to do something different since Naples was just my last playthrough prior to this. So this is the MEIOU and taxes here. So they've added some, I don't know the exact number, I don't know, 900 additional provinces or something like that. The Holy Roman Empire is neither holy, nor Roman, nor an empire. History in general informs us of what bad government is. Yep, I'll agree with that. Now that might be in it. Now, okay. They also cut. They also. Yeah, I'm gonna have dinner, take a half-hour break, and then I'm gonna stream something else. I just don't know. I think I'm gonna go with my Path of Exile run because I think there's a race starting up. Let me look at the race season for Path of Exile. See if there's a race starting up here tonight. If so, I'm going to be running a Path of Exile race character. Let's see. 8 p.m. So in 2 hours, there's an hour-long race. So I'm probably going to pick up a Path of Exile here in an hour or so. I'll run my standard character for a bit, and then once that race starts up in an hour at 8 p.m. my time, which is 2 hours from now, I'll stream my race. So this is the map for MEIOU and taxes, and the first thing you can note is we can start all the way back in 1356 in this playthrough, which does make things a little bit more interesting in the beginning, because things are a lot more fractured than the standard 1444 save. Let's look at this map. So this is the standard 1444 save, although it does have, again, it has a lot more provinces in the game. First thing I wanted to take a look at, Portugal is more than 2 provinces. Well, no, I guess it's still only 3 sea provinces across the ocean, so I was wondering if they had added some more sea zones in there. There are more sea zones, just not there. So things are a little bit more, the fracturing is, the 1444 setup is basically the same except for the number of provinces. But if we go back here to 1356, can take a look and see what some of the China. I don't want to necessarily do another Asian. Somebody suggested an African, and of course I might do that when the new expansion comes out. I am going to be doing an American save. Races are short-term events they have where basically you just the object is to just accumulate as many levels as you can and stay alive, because it is a hardcore. This particular race is a 1-hour race. They have races. Let me take a look at the current season. I'll post a link for those that are kind of familiar with the. Oops, that's not the link I was looking for. Sorry. You can actually look at the season calendar, and what happens is you accumulate points throughout the season as well, and at certain thresholds you gain free unique items. This particular race is a 1-hour race. They'll have some that are like, there's 12-minute races coming up on Tuesday. They're called burst races. A bunch of 1 and 2-hour races, and then here in a couple weeks I'll start 1 week and 1 month races. With various additional mods. For instance, this particular race is an endless ledge, and if you remember your time in beta, they have the 7th or 8th map that you run is the ledge map, which was one of the farming spots. This is an endless ledge race, which means you're running the ledge over and over and over. Every time you zone, you're zoning into a new instance of the ledge. They have standard races. They have races with particular mods in them. They have some cutthroat races coming up, which are PvP races. But like I said, if you're interested, I'll be streaming my standard character here as soon as I finish dinner, so about an hour. And then I will be streaming my race. Since it's only an hour race, I'll stream the full race. I don't post those on YouTube. I don't think they're interesting enough to throw up on YouTube. But I do need to break for dinner. Like I said, for this next mod run through, I'll probably do an MEIOU, and I might go ahead and do an African. Maybe Ethiopia would be an interesting choice, or a Dao. But it will be using the MEIOU in Texas. I know it's a toss-up. I really want to run another Naples save. But with the expansion coming out in mid-January, I'm not going to run an America save until that expansion comes out. So that's off. I might take a vote here when I get ready to stream it in a week or so. Kitara's in there. And it looks like they've got some potential expansion room. Ethiopia, Adal. So I might do an African save here as this next one. We'll see. Naples is certainly in the running. I've actually started a Naples save with the MEIOU and Taxes mod just to give the mod itself a test run. And like I said, come the beginning of the year, for those that are interested, we might do a multiplayer event. I know several of you throughout the course of the save have been interested in that. And then full playthrough of the one of the American tribes with the release of the expansion. So that's coming up. But I am going to sign off here for a little bit. I'm going to grab something to eat. And here in half an hour, 45 minutes, I'll start running my Path of Exile for those that are interested. For those that aren't familiar with Path of Exile, it's a indie developed Diablo type game, ARPG, with a lot of nifty intricacies, which sets it apart from any other ARPG that you might have seen or played before. But I am going to take a break while I'm prepping dinner. Eating dinner, I will throw my YouTube up. For those that missed this playthrough, you'll be able to catch that in an hour or so as well. But once again, everybody, thank you for joining. I hope it was as enjoyable for you as it was for me. This was, despite the setbacks there at the end, it was a very enjoyable playthrough of something different than anything I've done before in the franchise. So I enjoyed it immensely. I always enjoy having the commentators and the viewers out there. Thanks for joining, and I will catch you again in a short time with my Path of Exile run. And in the meantime, I'm going to have some dinner and throw up the YouTube video of this last playthrough. For those not joining the Path of Exile, have a good evening, and I hope to see you next time in whatever playthrough I end up running.